Hello and welcome back to Mimi's Place. Today I am in my kitchen doing a few things that need to get done, and I am going to prepare some real good eats for us for the next week or so, maybe preserve some stuff. You'll see as we go along. So I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. How's that? Sorry about the glare in the back. Some of the blinds and the lighting I have to keep a certain way so that I can actually see. So I'm hoping that it doesn't interfere with you guys. First thing we're going to do today is make pickles. Yes, I am making my own pickles. They are refrigerator pickles, like the garlic kind, okay? They're very simple. You want to start with a good pickling cucumber. Doesn't have to be from your garden. There is a brand of pickling cukes called Kirby. They are very, very, I use them in the winter when I can't get my own cucumbers, but they make the best pickles. You can use any kind of cucumber you want, but if you want a fresh, like a real crispy pickle, you're going to want a pickling cuke. First thing I'm going to do is heat up the brine. My brine consists of 2 cups of white vinegar and 2 cups of filtered water. So I just put this in a little, oh, sorry guys, I put it in a saucepan, and I'm going to add my other ingredients to it. I use a lot of fresh dill, well, or dry. You could use dry or fresh, but the dill is very, very important for this. It's what gives it that dill pickle flavor. And of course you're going to need your garlic. So I'm going to put these peppers here. So I'm going to chop up some garlic, and be generous with your garlic if you like to. If you like that. Got my little bowl here. I like to put my scraps in. I like to stay neat, you know. I don't like to be sloppy and messy, so. You know, it's one thing if you're watching a cooking show on TV and they can be sloppy and messy, but they ain't cleaning it up, you know. They're not the ones that have to clean it up. So I'm trying to get the skin off this garlic. I don't have the guts to get the knife and bang the garlic. I don't know. I'm always afraid I'm going to get cut or something. Okay, there it is. Almost got it. Nice big clove of garlic. So I'm going to chop this up fine. I should use my garlic mincer, but gadgets are nice, but there's nothing like doing it yourself. Just the satisfaction of chopping. So the garden is doing really well, and every day I am getting stuff, and makes it very rewarding knowing that I'm growing a lot of my own stuff. And the green beans, I only planted like, I might have 20 plants or 15. No, I think I got like 20, 25 out there. They're producing a lot. Oh my goodness. I usually do more than that, but so I'm going to put the garlic in here. I'm going to put this on the stove. It doesn't have to boil, but it has to become hot. Okay? I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Again, this is all to taste. And some black pepper. Now, if you want them a little spicy, you could throw in a little bit of red crushed pepper in there. That would be really nice. Okay. I'm going to put this on the stove, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to slice up these cubes. Okay. So while that water is heating, I have my mason jar ready, and the wide rim is nice for the pickles. You can stick a fork in there and pull your pickles out, you know. I'm going to do them sliced. Everybody seems to like them sliced. And I slice them kind of thin. I mean, you could do pickle spares if you wanted, but we like them like this. My son-in-law could eat a whole jar of these at one time. I don't know if he's watching, but you'll get the next jar, hon. So, my son-in-law. So I'm just going to put these in here. I might need another jar, and that's fine. That's fine. This makes really good pickles. And I've said this before. I hate to sound like a broken record. I really don't want to. I don't want to water bath preserve them because they come out very mushy. And then there's some stuff that you can add to it to keep them crispy. And I'm like, well, if I'm making my own, why would I want to do that, right? So I do them like this, and they say a couple of weeks in the fridge, but they last a long time, in my own opinion. You do what you want. Your kitchen, your rules. My kitchen, my rules. And I want to pack them down. See, it's looking pretty. This is a pint jar, I think, or is it 12 ounces? I think that's a 12-ounce jar. I always cut the ends off my veg. They just don't look nice. My mom taught me I always cut the ends off. So I will. These pickles are so good. They are not going to last, honestly. I mean, you can make them in the morning, and they should be ready by dinner. But they're definitely ready by the next day. Definitely. You'll know when they're ready, because you just have to open the jar and taste one, right? Got to keep tasting them. I think these 4 pickling cucumbers, yeah, this is about right, because when I use Kirby cucumbers, I usually get 1 jar out of it, so yeah, it's about right. I got 1 more to do, just wipe some. I had them in the water to keep them fresh in the fridge, you know. So I'm going to do the last one. And then there's more growing out there, and I planted more seeds because we have another month or so. So we will definitely be getting more cucumbers. But these are the absolute best pickles. Oh my goodness. And they're so easy. It's a fun project to do with the children or your grandchildren. It's easy. It's really, other than you doing the chopping and, you know, supervising with the hot brine. I mean, they can shove the stuff in the jar. They can, you know, they can do stuff. They can put in the salt and pepper. They can measure out the water and the vinegar. You know, you make them early in the morning. You know, when they go home to their parents, you can send them home with a jar of pickles. You know, those are the things that your grandchildren are going to remember. The little things that you do with them. They're not going to remember what you bought them. They're going to remember what you do with them. Okay, so, get my mopping. Okay. Does that not look refreshing? I am going to check the brine, and I'm going to be right back. And I'm not going to pause the camera because it's a pain. It's a pain. My friend Janine said something on there about pausing the camera, stopping and going, and she's right. It is a pain in the butt. Thank you, Janine. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here stopping the camera every 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm not a cooking show. So, I mean, I'm not on Food Network. This is me. This is my kitchen, my place. And I'm going to be right back. And you guys can stare at my window. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's almost done. Then I'm going to be making some sauce, I think, with my tomatoes. And I'm going to be making an Armenian pickle dish called Tourshi. So you're going to be here for that too. So we're going to be making 2 types of pickles today. American and Armenian. And it's going to be delicious. Okay, so the brine is nice and hot. Like I said, it doesn't have to be boiling, and you don't have to let it cool down. I think you get more flavor and everything. So I'm going to start pouring in the brine. And make sure you get to the bottom of the brine and get like the garlic and everything, because that's going to be so good. You're going to want your garlic in these deli pickles. Now this brine that I'm doing right now, we do this when we make the Armenian pickled vegetables. And you want to make sure all the pickles are covered. Okay. So now I have my lid, which I'm going to place on top. The jar's hot, so be careful. I don't want to do it too. Alright. Remember that jar of macaroni I couldn't open? I get carried away sometimes. Get your little moppy and wipe it down. Make sure it's nice and clean. And when the jar is cooled off, you can put it in your refrigerator. I like to do this. I like to just shake it a little bit. Like that. And I'm going to leave this on the counter, and this is going to dry like that. So now I'm going to get another jar. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a pint jar, and I don't know if this one's going to be big enough, but we're going to see. This is going to be Mimi's homegrown Tourshi. So the first thing I want to do is get my banana peppers. These have all been washed. I'm going to cut the stems off. I'm probably going to end up doing a couple of jars of these, I think. These are banana peppers. They're not spicy, but they're very, very fragrant. Hold on, I need a bowl. Tomatoes out of here. I'm not working on those yet, so I have a small kitchen, small counter space, but I try to keep it as nice as I can. I'm going to put them in a bowl so that I can mix it up and get a good mixture to put in the jars. This way it's not all. Now some of the Armenians will do a layer of carrot, a layer of pepper, or whatever it is they're pickling. Today I just want to get it done. So Tourshi in Armenian means anything that's pickled. It's a very, very common to have pickled vegetables in any Armenian, Turkish, Middle Eastern home. And it's part of what we call meza, which is like an appetizer. But even just this really does open up your appetite. That's what my mom said that her dad used to say. Okay, so now I have some garden carrots. They didn't grow too big, and now I know why. Because Mimi didn't thin them out. Some of them were just popping right up. So I'm going to cut the ends off. And I am going to... I'm going to add all these scraps to my... the bag I have with vegetables for broth. So I have a lot more carrots out there, but now I know what happens when you don't thin them. The areas that have more bigger carrots are the ones that have room to grow. But usually they pop up out of the ground, and that's how you know they're ready. And these little tiny baby ones are all popping out. I'm like, oh, Mimi, what did you do? So I'm going to get a little vegetable brush. Hang on. Scraper. Okay, it might be over here. Right in front of me. So I just want to get some of that outer skin off. Like the peel. Just make it look pretty. And these were thoroughly washed when I brought them in the house. I take very good care of my produce. Even if I buy something in a bag, it's always thoroughly washed by me and repackaged. Because I don't know these people and what they do. Yeah, there's so little. Look how I have to get the skin off. But that's okay. We can chat, right? Does anyone else make pickles? Do you make your own pickles? I've had this recipe for years. And actually, the brine and everything is the same. I learned this at church, the Armenian Church. When they get ready for their big fall bazaars and everything, they have like teams of people, like who's making the stuffed grape leaves, who's making the jars of Tourshi, and so that's where I learned how to do it. And then my mother always loved it. They use cauliflower too. They use cauliflower. They use cauliflower, pepper, carrot, celery, which I'm going to be adding. Yeah, this is going to be nice. I'm probably going to have to make some more brine. That's okay. Not a big deal. It's only vinegar, water, garlic, salt, pepper. I mean, you can't go wrong. Homemade Tourshi. Oh, yeah. Some of this with some Middle Eastern bread. Oh, yeah. My mother could make a lunch just out of this stuff. There's one more thing that I grew that I'm going to add to this. Be right back. Okay, this is my first bell pepper that I got. Oh yeah, guess what? Groundhog, Mr. Groundhog, ate 2 bell peppers out there. See the top? It breaks off. You can just break it in sections, see? Always get the membrane off. I'm going to put this one side because I'm going to be harvesting these seeds. So those are going to stay one side. This was thoroughly washed. So I thoroughly rinse everything outside with ice cold water, very, very cold. Then I do it again when I bring it in the house. So my veggies are nice and clean. And I'm going to be adding this. It's going to look so pretty. My mom always said if something looks nice, it's going to taste nice. My family, and the way they were brought up, Middle East, everything is about aesthetics. How does it look? If it doesn't look appetizing, man, oh my gosh. If I made Tourshi and I didn't get like all the membrane out, my mother, she wouldn't eat it. Or she would tell me, like, you know, you didn't do this right. Thanks, Mom. Okay. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit. They usually put jalapeno in it, and I have jalapeno growing outside, but maybe the next jar I'll make hot. But these are my veggies. I grew this. I even grew the dill. I just didn't grow the garlic. So this is everything Mimi. I'm just going to shove this in. There's such a difference when you grow your own stuff, if you possibly can. You can't imagine the taste. You know, this is going to make one nice jar. I'm just going to have to pack it. So, my hands are clean. I promise. Oh, yeah, look at this. Looks so pretty. Yeah, and this is going to be nice. We'll have a family dinner or something, and we'll bust open a jar of Mimi's Tourshi. Tourshi. You have to roll the R's when you say anything. In Armenian. Okay, so now I'm going to pour in the brine. I'm going to scoop some of it because I want to make sure I get that garlic. And a lot of times they would put fresh cabbage in there, and it would be really nice too. But just about any vegetable can be pickled. It really can. They do green tomatoes, they put cabbage in it, carrots, celery, peppers. Again, you want to make sure that it's all covered. So this is up to the brim. I'm going to put my cover on. I'm going to get my mopine, wipe it down. So I'm making something Armenian and I'm talking Italian. Okay. So this is Tourshi. So I made American pickles and Armenian pickles. I hope that you guys will follow along and take these recipes and have fun with them. They're easy, simple little things that you can do, even if you don't have a big garden or if you just go to the store and buy, like I said, the Kirby cukes are really good. Various peppers, carrots, celery. I didn't put celery in there. I want this to be a jar of everything that I grew. So it's bad enough I didn't grow the garlic, but I grew everything else. I'm really proud of myself. Okay, so thank you for watching along, and this is going to come out really good. When I bust open these jars, I'm going to let you guys know, okay? Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've ever heard of Tourshi. You might have seen it in jars at a Middle Eastern market or something. Let me know if you've ever had it, if you've ever heard of it, and whether or not you make your own pickles. I'm curious. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on my next one.